Cosmodread, which just came out exactly a week ago, I think, last Thursday. And it's a lot of fun. This is the first time I've tried to record a VR game, but it works surprisingly well, I think. So the field of view might be a little bit slightly more zoomed in than what I was seeing playing it in VR, but I think it worked pretty well overall. So this is kind of a science fiction slash horror roguelike game, and I think this is one of the more fleshed out, like, actual games that I've played out in VR probably. And I think having a VR roguelike game makes 100% sense. Like, I like VR games. No, I like roguelike games anyway, but I think for VR it makes sense to have something that's, in shorter bursts, more playable and enjoyable. Because usually you don't want to play VR for a super long extended period of time anyway. So you can interact with a lot of things in the environment, and you're trying to escape this sci-fi ship you're on. There's some kind of, I don't know, some kind of alien viral infection maybe. And right as I say that, here it is. So ships that don't have power, there was a little battery thing in the wall that you could plug in, but if they don't have that, then they start having this stuff grow on them. But we have some bolts here for our crossbow we can load. Not a super sci-fi weapons, but there are others. But there's a few enemy spooky life forms on board here. So there might be some spooky stuff just as a disclaimer. Or some, I don't know, just fake spooky stuff, maybe some bodies, some enemies, some stuff like that. So if you don't like that, then don't watch the video portion. You could probably still just listen to me talk. But yeah, I wanted to try out doing some VR games, and this one just came out. So, and I've been playing a little bit of it. I only played it a couple runs before making this video. So I'm kind of learning the ropes with you guys. But, a lot of VR games seem a little gimmicky, where you're just like standing in place and just shooting at things around you or whatnot, but it felt so awesome, I guess. We're just walking around this space station. Yeah, there's some random explosion stuff in there. It said like deceased on the pod there. Some kind of life pod or medical bay there. But it feels awesome. And, the default in VR is always like the teleport mode, but I honestly really hate that for whatever reason. I like I think it's called like the smooth mode, which is you use the joysticks to kind of orient yourself and move around. And I really prefer that. I think it works super well. And I'm not someone who gets motion sickness. Like, when I'm at the gym, like, I'll read, like, on the elliptical or the treadmill or something, or I'll read in the car, so that's probably just something that doesn't happen to me. But, so I can see why a lot of people don't particularly like that. motion sickness, but I think it's a lot more fluid and natural to move around that way. So that's what I'm using here, and it makes for a better video too, because I'm not just stopping and teleporting everywhere. I am just, it looks like we're on this adventure together. We're just navigating through a spaceship, trying to unravel its mysteries. So there are some objectives and things we need to pull out, key cards and stuff, and open different sections of the ship. And I haven't even gotten this far enough to do most of them, but I think you have to get to the bridge and do stuff, and there it is right there. Get to navigation, set coordinates, find the escape ship and fuel it up and whatnot. There's one of the alien life forms is a little jumping hand type thing. So there's that dead little eyeball there. So that's the first one we encounter. And you have to worry about oxygen and things like that. But yeah, I think it is super fun so far. One aspect that you're not getting is there's lots of spooky sounds. You can hear some of the monsters around you, and just also random sounds just to kind of mess with you. So if you see me just looking around randomly, then that is the reason. I'm just hearing something weird, like a monster nearby, and turning around. But yeah, I hope there's more kind of. Oh, there's that guy jumping at me, attacking. Miss him barely there. Actually, do. I'm usually pretty accurate, but I don't know. I'm just missing a lot on this one. And then what starts killing me here is while I'm fighting this thing, I forget that I'm running out of oxygen. So that's a little bit of a disaster on this first attempt here, but I figured why not? Well, include it here. Jumping all over the place. These things usually aren't that big of a deal, but I end up somehow missing a lot of shots. But the next run will be better, I swear. The next run was the best run that I've had so far. I haven't played since I made this video yesterday, but it is the best run so far. I think I give up looking for him. He's just bouncing around all over the place. Oh, never mind, he's right there. There we go. These ones are just kind of weird. They're just chilling all over the place. Let's see, we can put a battery in here and light this place up a little bit. It also stops if there was weird alien infection-y type stuff growing here, then it would just kind of burn off like that guy's body just did. I like how you can just pick up things from the world and kind of just put them right into your inventory and vice versa. But here's our first look at this alien life form here. And I'm just going to shut the door on that. But something I can't remember. Let's see what it says kills me. I don't remember. It was something kind of random and unexpected. I hope it's not something a crawler. I didn't see one. I think that might be the jumping ones. So, I don't know about that one, but we'll get into it. And as you play through it, you unlock different extra things that you can see there, but they pretty much just make it still get my bearings and beat it normally. But yeah, as I was saying, I think roguelike works super well. Just go in short bursts and make progress and continually unlock and see new things is just, I think, a format that works really well. And the sensors on the Quest 2 have been really accurate. I've been impressed. Like, it's been more accurate than my Rift 2 sensors were. So it's just been a lot nicer of an experience overall. I think I heard some weird alien sounds there. So I did a little double take there. So each item that you can see here has like different attributes for it, and up until this point I hadn't known how to do the crafting, but I will discover that later. But it is so cool to just reach out and interact with things in the world, and like reloading your gun and pulling back the thing on it to notch another crossbow bolt in there. And the map is randomized each time, so you'll see rooms that are the same pretty much, but they'll be connected in different ways each time. So it is cool to have a different experience each time, different enemies and items and room combinations. So yeah, things are a bit more zoomed in. I wasn't sure what that was, some kind of weird technology or a coffee maker, but it is in fact an alien sentinel. And I wasn't sure if they were always hostile or what, but I just peek around the corner there and get a few shots in on it, and looks like it took 4 shots to put down. So that's almost an entire clip by itself. Didn't even drop any loot or anything, or let me pick it up or bump it around, unfortunately. But I can't claim to have gotten very far in this, but I've only encountered a couple of those. But it is completely randomized. See, I was trying to hold my arms out so you could like kind of see what I was doing, but like I said, the field of view is pretty zoomed in. Like I could see like the whole crossbow in my arms, or my hands at certain points, but yeah, we're getting enough of the effect, I suppose. It works well enough. There we go, the blue pass card, we're gonna need that. Some more oxygen, always useful. But yeah, I think this worked out surprisingly smoothly for being in VR and just having me look around and move and stuff. So that's pretty neat. Like I said, this is the first time that I've tried to do that, and I'm happy that it's a success. We can both enjoy this adventure together. We'll slot the blue keycard in there and pull down the lever. But I'm excited to see VR games, continue to try new things and really just kind of push what it's capable of and have new experiences. Here we go, it's loading up a data chip off there. Look at it, it's only 64 kilobytes, that's so tiny. it's a schematic for a laser sight on the weapon. So there is crafting. Up until this point, I didn't really know how that worked, and I kind of ignored this terminal. But yeah, you can just craft stuff in here, and I kind of figure out how it works right here. And that's how you use oxygen. When you're running out, you just have to take it out of your inventory and hold it up to your face. So, as you play, you'll unlock new blueprints that you can craft on subsequent runs. We only have a few here. Health stimulant, lightning gun, and the laser sight in the handbag. And here I'm trying to, pick up whatever is nearby and salvage it for parts. To try it out. So I'm learning along with you guys here, but it shows you what parts. And you just gotta put them into this side over here. I learned later that you can just kind of throw it into the middle and it should pick up on it, but for some reason right now, if you just kind of put them on the bottom, I guess it doesn't pick up until you click into the terminal, but normally if you just kind of toss them in there, yeah, I don't know why that didn't work. As I move my arms around like that, wondering why. So yeah, when I used it later, it just kind of worked and zapped them right as I threw it in there. But for some reason, it doesn't do that right now. So yeah, this is a new game, so if you haven't heard of it, and this looks interesting to you, I would definitely check it out. I've been happy with it so far. It's been a lot of fun. But yeah, it is new. It just came out last week. I feel like I should leave more like Steam reviews and reviews of things in general. I don't do that too often. I don't trust that. I feel like it's going to attack me for sure if I get near it, but there's a giant tentacle just coming out of the wall over there. I guess it's kind of guarding that locker over there, but doesn't seem worth damage for what's in it. So we're just not going to worry about that. And look at these, we're used to blue crossbow bolts, but here's some red ones. Explosive crossbow bolts. Definitely going to want to hold on to that. That one made me reach for it in real life over the table there. And to reload, to like pull out an extra clip if you have it. Oh, look at that. I don't like that thing snaking out of the vent. I shake my head no there. Not about that. But to reload, you have to put an arm over your left shoulder and then pull out a clip if you have it in your inventory and slot that in to load it into your crossbow. Here's Railgun Energy Pack. Has some useful salvage, some of the components and things that we need. Of course, we don't have a railgun yet, so it's not super useful. Get into some spooky places again with all the infection growing here. Some before. A little assembly line there. I just like to clear the room before I get into anything so I don't get ambushed. But there's a few things to loot. A multimeter, that is a lot of parts we need. A gas can. I'm starting to run out of air again, so take a hit of that. I think there's a depleted fuel cell. Oh, I think I heard some spooky sounds there looking around. A circuit board. Take one of those for the road. Lots of circuit boards if we need them later. There's lots of little tentacles and things, but they don't really do anything, so we can just accept they're creepy and ignore them. And each of those like batteries had a number of charges on it, so you can move it and power another area. Here's the red key card. Can't really fit it in here though, into my inventory. There's a new room that I haven't explored yet though. New room type. Looks pretty important, doesn't it? Yeah, our inventory's full, so we'll go ahead and make a trip back to the little crafting station there. Remembering to avoid the angry giant tentacle coming out of the vent over there. And yeah, as I mentioned in the last one, if you have played any super cool VR games, please let me know in the comments ones that I should check out. I started moving my arms like I was actually like walking, just to give you more of an experience there. I was holding up my arms like, stop rolling, don't fall off. And it's a super cool experience to interact with these things in VR, and like that depleted fuel cell was rolling off and almost falling, or was falling, and then I caught it in midair and put it back up there. It was super cool. And we're melting all that down for parts. And now we can craft our laser sight, or fabricate it. It's a 3D printer, really. And here we go, a laser sight. Put it down there. See, dropped it and then caught it with my other arm, or hand. Just pew, pew. Okay, we need a few more parts in order to make a hand. I don't know why a hand pack requires energy. It's just like a little satchel. Is that adding to the experience, me waving my arms as I walk? It's like I'm really walking, right? Look at this. Just normal human walking. See, there we go. Now it starts working like it should, where you're just gonna throw it in there and it zaps it right away. Not sure why it didn't work at first. I don't have a railgun, so in you go. Buck. Zap away. I think that's all, everything though. Need energy. We can take a battery from anywhere, but we're gonna want this area powered up. cautious. There's a good chance there'll be enemies lurking around any corner, so I just preemptively close some doors off until I've made sure that they're safe. But it's super atmospheric in here, you know. Feels like you are in this spooky station. I don't know, I was playing VR and my wife at certain parts was just, you know, moving around doing stuff, so I would hear that too with the game sound and be like, what was that? Oh, there's just a severed head chilling on the couch. Can't pick it up though. But it is interesting with the Quest 2. It just has like speakers near your ear, so people can hear what you're listening to. But you can also hear things around you too, which is nice. The Oculus Rift just had little like a weird little earmuffy headset, I think. I don't know why I said weird. It wasn't weird. But it just had little headsets that go over your ears and just play the sound for you only. So I kind of like not having it over my ear and being able to hear other people and them being able to hear a little bit of what I'm doing as well. Like I know my wife can hear it when I'm playing sound boxing and stuff, like what songs I'm listening to. Like what did I do? We just finished watching the first season of The Witcher, and I was doing sound boxing along to that toss a coin to your Witcher song. Oh, the inventory is getting pretty full. I don't want to give up any of that precious ammo. Need more ammo. Probably should have made that hand back before we headed out, but that's fine. Creepy office in there. We're gonna save that room for later just in case. We definitely have seen this room multiple times, but there's some new stuff in here. A noise maker to distract enemies. Well, attract them, but that counts as a distraction in my book. Yeah, for next time I'll try to hold my arms out kind of super far, like fully extended so you can see them better. Because I'm pretty sure when I was walking around here I could see like my crossbow, at least in my arms. Or, you know, hands. At least the further you go, we are getting a lot of ammunition. I just kind of tactically fired off one round just so I could reload, because there's some spooky sounds coming from the other side of this door that I didn't trust. Sometimes it's just random sounds, and sometimes it's very useful information, and this time it was useful. There definitely was one of these tall boys. We can get a good look at him now. It's kind of weird. Big-mouthed Cyclops looking monsters, but humanoid though. Yeah. I'm sure there's some lore here. There are like audio files that you can find. Kind of learn a little bit more about what's happened here. a story and figure out what happened here and what happened to the original crew. But this game kind of has a Dead Space vibe going for it, which is cool. Okay, there is some more power in that zone, so it seems pretty safe, but I'm just gonna close it just to be safe while I get some oxygen. But yeah, I've been impressed with how accurate the sensors are. I heard that being a concern, like, I guess like way back when I was looking at the Quest versus the Rift, was like, it'll be much more accurate. You can have like full 360 if you have enough sensors with the Rift, and but this has been even more accurate, as I said before, in my experience. And admittedly, I probably didn't have the optimal layout for the sensors and stuff in the room that I had, but this is more accurate so far. Obviously, I can't like reach completely behind me and do stuff, but I don't find that you need to do that in any of the games that I've played, really. You know, I'm sure there's a use in some where you could just be accurate enough where you could just point like a gun behind you and shoot something creeping up behind you, but don't think that's normally useful. So this is the first like health stimulant I've got. You're supposed to hold it and press the trigger to like inject it, which I think I just did because it changed from red to white, but I keep fiddling with it for a little bit. Also, you can see that mini map on the wrist there is pretty cool. You can look down at your wrist and see a map of where you've been. I'll just leave that on the table for some reason. It looks like there's a powered fuel cell. It would make sense to me if we actually needed one at some point, but don't need one just yet. Take some more oxygen. You're always in need of oxygen and more crossbow bolts. Continue looking through the ship. There's some new environments here that I haven't seen before, some bigger rooms and stuff. Got some more crossbow bolts should we need it, but we're pretty well stocked right now. Let's just double check it in case that tentacle from before found his way over here. Look at an alien tissue sample. A rare organic sample. Oh, but this is cool right here. Look at this. That guy just appears out of nowhere when the lights flicker. Just a giant monster. And as I'm closing the door, he just teleports right in front of us. That was a pretty good jump scare, I'll tell you, when I was playing it. I don't know what that big monster was. I got a few solid hits in on him, but I don't know how many more he would have taken. I don't like that he can teleport, so we're just gonna close that door and leave that a mystery for another time. But yeah, that was one good jump scare in it, the way the lights flickered and he appeared, and then as I'm backing up and right as I'm closing the door, the lights flicker again, he's just there, looking at me. And, there are other enemy types, some that we don't see in this video that I saw on other runs, and I'm sure some that I still have yet to encounter. Got a pulse grenade. Yeah, there's like regular grenades, pulse grenades, which I assume are better at taking out the robot enemies. Here I'm gonna go take a battery out so I can finish crafting the handbag, which requires power for some reason. So that one had 3 charges, so I'm gonna find one with less, just so I feel like I'm wasting less. Even though, probably doesn't matter too much. There probably is like a strategy. I haven't actually like really tried it out yet, but I wonder if you power a section and there's living enemies in it, if it will kill them off. So there might be a strategy to going into a new section that is infected and powering it with a battery. I probably should try that out on my next run. Here we have a nice little hand bag for us, a little satchel. We're gonna put it down on our waist, and now we have up to 14, so that gave us 4 more slots, which is very convenient. That's yellow, and green should be up here. Yep. So we can go ahead and unlock that section of the ship. Unlock some new rooms, some new mysteries to explore. We still have a lot of things to cross off on our little checklist that it puts up there. I think we've seen this specific room template like 3 times already. Got another kitchen we've seen at least once on this run. But they each have different items and different environmental hazards. Here's an audio log that I was telling you guys about. Read it. So to summarize, yes, the Phobian drive malfunctioned and triggered ahead of time, and yes, our current location is unknown. Engineering is working around the clock to fix the damages and ready the drive again, and navigation is plotting the course back home. In the meantime, I ask of the rest of you to keep a professional attitude and take advantage of this unique research opportunity. I had to read real quick to keep up with that. Another EMP grenade in there. We'll go ahead and put that in. Either to use or to just salvage. It's worth a lot of good parts. Another infected room. Hearing some spooky sounds, I believe. And there, a floating like psychic energy enemy. He's like throwing books and cups and stuff at me, kind of like a poltergeist. That was kind of spooky too. They do that when they die, they just kind of launch themselves at you. But probably should have crafted some health stimulants too. Go ahead and seal that off until we've made sure that we have this area secure. Not any floating enemies. Oh, there's the yellow key card we'll need later. If we're gonna want to access that other section of the ship. Some more crossbow bolts, definitely snag that. That's cool, you can like look up at the ceiling and stuff and explore your space. And this is definitely a new environment. There's a big hole in the exterior what's outside? What is that? Still some kind of shield there, but there's some kind of giant alien, like legs or something, like a spider. So, what is that? What has this ship in its snare? You know? Don't like that. What is the Phobian drive? Alright, we got our crossbow. Few bolts in it left. Let's see what's going on in this room. Looks clear, we can see the wall. And the flashlight, by the way, is attached to my right arm, so I'm having to like shine that in everywhere we're looking, which is a pretty cool experience as well. Got a new data drive to check out that could have a schematic or a new log entry. Couple fuel cells, but we're a little overburdened, so I could go back all the way to the crafting room, but there is a terminal right here that we could make use of, so let's try and power this room up and plug that in. But right as we turn this on, it activates, some hazards, electrical hazards, and I did not see that before, but a turret. And that turret is going to be our downfall. I've waved my arms in the air. Sad at such a cruel random fate. So, that was a pretty decent run. We saw a lot of a ship, as you can kind of see on the right there. So we explored like 40% or something. But we unlocked a couple of different modifiers, like reduced ammo and stuff. But yeah, leave a like if you enjoyed the video, and maybe want to see more VR stuff in the future. If you think this worked well, I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. And I'll see you guys next time.